Green light.
Worked like a charm.
Oh, I'm one seat too far over.
You are. Everybody, welcome to the Lawrenceburg Redevelopment Commission for February the 12th, 2024. Can we get a roll call? Ms. Hermish.
Yes, Executive Director Brian Messmore,
Here.
President Richard Richardson,
Present.
Vice President Lenny Fryman,
Here.
Secretary Kevin Schaefer,
Here.
Member Janie Wilson will be tardy. Member Brian Johnson is absent. School Board Member Aaron Shepard. Here. And City Attorney Del Wellman.
Here.
All right. If we've had a chance to review the minutes that have been provided for us, I'll take a motion to approve those.
So move.
Lenny, do we have a second?
You're it, Kevin.
Kevin,
I'm it.
you want to second that?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Janie has arrived at 4:32.
There we go.
All right.
That's okay.
Okay, glad you made it. Glad you're here safe.
That's right.
It was a pet emergency. Not mine.
Pets trump humans around here, so.
All right. Anybody on the board have any announcements, or Director Messmore, do you have any announcements?
No, I'm just gonna add something to old business when we get there.
All right. It's on its way. Ms. Hermish, you want to provide us with a financial report?
As of February 6th, the balance for redevelopment is $4,603,718.88.
Any questions? Not, we'll mosey on to new business. And under Director Messmore, we do have the Atlas change order.
Yes, thank you, and this was provided to you in your packets. Atlas is doing some testing work for us. We had an original contract with them. This is regarding the Liberty Theater. If you look at the narrative there, the reason for the change was an increase in the number of testing that needed to be done. The original contract was based on the original set of drawings. As you recall, we've had some substantial changes in the basement with additional footings for steel and for just general footers, grade beams. At any rate, that has required an additional number of visits, taking the original contract of 18 visits up to a site to date total of 35 visits. We estimate 7 visits remaining. And pretty confident of that, but you know, we've uncovered nearly all the surprises. I won't say all of them, but we're in reconstruction mode. So I'm asking for approval to continue our work with Atlas, and it's certainly not a bad thing to have a substantial foundation for the building that was built in 1893.
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Now we have, this should be 556 West High Street.
That's correct.
My bad.
Was that, did you make that mistake or did I? I assumed it was me.
I blame Brian.
I don't know. I just typed whatever I wrote down
Okay.
when we talked.
I assumed it was me.
Okay.
At any rate, correction, 556 West High, if you will recall, this is a property we discussed about making available to the Southern Indiana Housing and Community Development Corporation, SHCDC. I'm asking the board to consider removing it from that plan and putting it on our Low Miller real estate listing for sale with the other properties. They have changed, they're changing some leadership out there, and I just think that while the iron's hot, we have stuff that we do have some activity out there. I'll update you on an old business, actually a sale. I think getting this on the market here in town is probably the best way to go.
And we can revisit that program in the future, correct?
Oh, yeah. And it's a lot, it's approximately 34 by 148. I will recommend listing that at 12,000 in a 1,400 square foot house, meeting all of the requirements set forth in our agreements.
Anybody have any questions about it? Any issues with doing it?
How many square foot did you say?
1,400.
1,400.
Okay.
We'll take a motion to remove 556 West High Street from the, sorry, what was that program called?
SIHCDC.
SIHCDC program, and putting that with the properties that we are currently
listing for
listing.
sale.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Is there any additional new business that we do not have on our agenda for this evening? Not, we'll go down to old business, and under Director Messmore, we do have a Durbin Plaza update for us this evening.
Ooh,
Yes.
hope
Oh,
it's
well.
good.
No, well, no. We obviously, we were not successful on our third
Oh,
tax credit application. We have met several times to debrief and try to understand where we could potentially score better. The mayor and I visited IHCDA up in Indianapolis and had a fairly lengthy discussion with them. After that, we met with Flaherty and Collins, and as you will recall, Flaherty and Collins is the property owned down here at Whiskey River Apartments, and they were also the second presenter when we selected Model Group and National Church Services to help us with our first three applications. What I'm going to propose today is that, and I have talked, since this is a partnership with us and council, I have talked to council about this, that we would submit for tax credit housing one more time in 2024. The questionnaire will come out in March, I believe. We will sit down to self-scoring and try to determine if we can be competitive, if we can. What I'd like to do is switch the team up a little bit and go with Flaherty and Collins for this fourth tax credit application submittal. The application would be due in July. Notification would be in November, just as it always has been, minus COVID delays. I think that's it
Yep.
in a nutshell.
You just need a motion for them to go with Flaherty? Okay.
Well, I don't see any issue with trying a different route. Do we have a motion to accept Flaherty and Collins for this project?
I'll make the motion. Are we, if this doesn't go through this time, Brian, what are we going to do?
I would probably recommend we pursue market rate housing. How you like that answer?
Well, that can be discussed.
It will be. We'll just have to have a joint session, figure out what we want to do with that property.
Yeah, we definitely need to do something.
Yeah, as we've stated many times, this is the opportunity to provide housing to that community with a very favorable cash position to the city. It's 10% of the entire project, some of it which is a loan, some of it which is a contribution of land, and some other things. So, and this is, you know, Model Group and National Church residents have been fantastic. This is not a negative or a criticism of anything that they've done for us. They put a tremendous amount of work in these projects, these submittals. It's time, it's money for them to take extremely serious. It's just an opportunity to try a different team with some people with some different experiences and see if we can reach the goal.
We'll stay positive, Lenny.
so is it still dedicated for like senior housing?
Yeah, 55 and over, independent living.
More affordable?
Yeah, yeah,
senior housing.
yeah, that's
Okay.
what the tax credits do. They allow a certain number of units to be at 50% of AMI, a certain number at 60, a certain number at 70, and a certain number at 80. And
Is that similar to like what they built in Greendale? where the old middle school used to be?
I don't know if that was a tax credit project or
I
not.
don't think so.
Exactly.
So the key characteristics here that aren't gonna change are that not only do we partner with the developer, but we partner with the firm that will maintain and operate the building. And so it's
Okay.
really a three-way venture. And then the final, the company that owns it and runs it is kind of the real key. And then what we've learned over our multiple applications and great, like Mr. Messmer said, great work by the model group and great work by their facility that would have run it with the model group. I mean, they're top notch, they're excellent, but so is Flaherty and Collins and their group. It's the exact same setup, and we've gotten a lot of feedback on why we didn't get approved these other rounds. It's very competitive. The criteria changes, so it's really not a reflection of the city or of the model group. It's just we haven't hit it yet, and we've tried it so many times. It's good to try again because the project's so important. You know, we want to build. We want as many units as possible over there, and we want a firm that's going to run it. We just don't want to build it and then worry about who's going to run the programming there, take care of the seniors there, provide them with access to other third-party groups and things like that. So we really want it to be a comprehensive, really top-notch senior living facility with as many units as humanly possible, because we feel like that's one of the most important things we can do, and that location's perfect for it.
Right.
And that's been frustrating because
Oh, yeah.
the location's perfect, but it's a little too far away from Kroger, and it's a little too far away from this or that.
Kroger delivers.
Yeah.
Good point.
So, but it's just with
Good point.
But their
It
metrics.
does. That can be a relationship with whoever does the thing.
Yeah. Well, the great thing about what Mr. Messmore and the mayor and Kelly have done is they've kind of recognized that the reason we've been denied are because of these kind of generic metrics that they have to use, which is fair because they have to judge everyone in the state. But Brian and the mayor and Kelly have kind of said, well, come to Lawrenceburg, see it for yourself, see why, maybe we don't score how we need to on some of these metrics, but we feel like we make up for it in other things, right?
Exactly.
So
In fact, they came to town last week. I forgot to mention.
yeah, so that's
Had a visit
huge.
from 3 of the
good.
folks.
You wouldn't tell them about that, Brian?
We just, 3 folks from the IHCDA came down. We toured the town, toured the site, just had a nice conversation and was able to express, because that, the QAP, the questionnaire changes, and it is very objective to be fair to all the applicants. But we have a really cool site next to all those resources for that population, and it doesn't matter in some scoring cases. So, repealing that, maybe somehow we can score better, or it can be different categories of scoring that may help us more than the traditional scoring methods.
Yeah, so these guys have been working really hard at this because it is on your behalf, because it is such an important project. But
Yeah.
even though we haven't won the tax credit financing, all these different rounds, it's still a lot of work dedicated behind the scenes to making this happen, and one day we will. It's important enough to keep trying.
Sure.
Yeah, we've been real close. There's no doubt. I mean, I've been on this, and I've been with Brian. He lets me set in sometime.
Yeah.
And we're very close, and it seems like we're kicking the can down the road more and more and more. And we get so far and can't get any farther. But we don't want to, excuse me, we don't want to put something here that's not going to benefit the elderly.
Sure.
To take care of them. And that's what they're pushing very hard to do. And I know we're
Timing's
close.
everything.
We just
Maybe it's just not.
hopefully we can get it done. It won't cost us a whole bunch.
That's right, Mr. Fryman, and we want it to be the best of the best, the biggest it can be, and sustainable for the next 30 years, where we know we have a commitment for a really high-quality firm to operate it for years and years down the road. So that's why we're doing the extra work, because we don't want to just build something and not have a plan. We want it to be sustainable.
Good.
All right.
I think Lenny.
So we have a motion from Lenny. Do we have a
Motion.
second?
Second.
Second. Janie, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We've all been provided our Main Street reports in our packets, so if we have any questions about that, please let us know. If not, we will move on to the last piece of old business. I'm told we've got something for 531 West High Street.
That is correct. Late, hot off the presses, we were just notified, I think last evening, and we confirmed today, that we have been offered our asking price, and the home does meet our square footage and construction parameters that we have set forth. So 531 West High, asking the board for approval to move ahead with this real estate transaction, and, get construction started within the first 6 months as our requirements indicate.
Yeah, you guys have done a great job with this project too. Andrew Lowe-Miller gives us constant updates, is really working to make sure that your wishes are carried out. So there, again, same thing, a lot of work going on behind the scenes with Kelly and Brian and Andrew Lowe-Miller. And so it's exciting to see house being built, not just a house being built, but with all the requirements that we decided were important.
All right, well, this is exactly what we've been waiting for, so it has arrived. Does the board have any questions about this?
Which lot is this? Is this the large lot or one of the smaller ones?
So as you go west on West High, 531 and 533 are the lots that are right next to each other. 542 is across the street, and that's the larger single lot.
Okay.
And 556, the one we discussed earlier, is the third lot from the end on the left, vacant lot.
Okay. Can you share with us what the folks want to build? Is it right at our minimum requirements?
I did not receive it. Andy had indicated that they've met all the requirements. They are building another home here in town right now over by a private home for a private resident over by BPI, Batesville Products. They have building experience,
Okay.
so.
They're coming, I bet, excuse me, I've been, my granddaughter lives next door to that, and man, they've been putting that up pretty fast.
What's the price of this lot?
15.
All right, do we have a motion to move forward with the sale of 531 West High Street?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Lenny, second.
Second.
Second by Janie, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, is there any other additional old business that needs to be discussed? Not, I will take a motion to approve the claims that have been provided to us.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I will ask for comments from the audience. Mark, any comments? No? And now I'll take a motion to
So
adjourn.
moved.
Oh, thank you. Lenny's right on it. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by
Aye.
Kevin. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Love it. Good job.
Thank you.